Rolling. What's up? How's it going? How's it going, everybody?
Great. Couldn't be better, Lucia.
Um, why does it say that your name is Apple on your Zoom?
Oh, I'll have to change that. My name's not really Apple.
Oh, that's too bad. I was hoping that maybe you came from a family of actors or musicians.
I don't at all. No. My
Oh
father
yeah.
was Cotton Jenner. I'm from the deep south.
Wait, a cotton ginner?
Yes.
Whoa, wild.
Yeah, McBride Jenner Farm Supply.
Well, wait, Earl, did you grow up making cotton? How does that work?
Well, cotton grew in the field, and then the combines would come through and pick the cotton, and then that would go to the gin. But I did grow up, they would fill these like trailers, big trailers full of cotton, and me and my sister would jump into the cotton, and that was really fun.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's way better than having a pillow fight or something.
Yeah, it's way better than a pillow fight.
Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up around New York. I'm like a tri-stater, so my mom had a dress shop. She would make dresses herself with two other ladies.
Oh, wow.
And my dad, he was sort of a resume man. So his whole thing was like, I've never had a real job. He just does all kinds of things. But he worked a lot in photography.
Okay. And have you always made art? When you were little?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is this
Yeah,
what you wanted to be when you grew up?
I was like, I'm this, and nobody pushed back about it.
Good.
Yeah. How about your family? Were they like, what? An artist?
Um, Sort of yes and no. Um, they they knew I was an artist, and they like, I guess, loved that I was creative, but then didn't want me to have that as a career. I don't think. Now it's a little different, but yeah, it wasn't really encouraged, I would say, at all.
Right. Yeah, I think it's very strange when people are encouraged to be an artist. I think in my case it was like I just came from a very low supervision household. So they were like, "What's our kid? Oh, our kid is making stuff. It's pretty cool."
Yeah,
All right.
keeping you busy.
Yeah. They're like, "Oh, what you I don't know, pick something and be it, I guess. Gotta go to work now. Bye."
Yeah. Did you always draw? Did you?
Yeah, I used to like so I would just be like home alone and I would wrap the TV in saran wrap and I would like pause The Lion King, something like that. Aladdin, Lion King, Ghostbusters, classic classic 90s imagery.
Yeah.
I would just wrap the TV in saran wrap and then I would like trace on the TV. I don't know. I just made it up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
this is not what I'm gonna do.
yes, totally.
Yeah.
I have like a tracing story too from when I was a kid, but it's kind of different. I was
What was
about
yours? Yeah.
I was about 3 maybe, or something like that, and it was a book of angels, illustrated angels, like Bible imagery,
Oh my
and,
gosh.
and so I got a piece of paper and I traced the angels, and then I took it out to my mom and her friends and showed them the angels like I had done it myself, and they thought I was a genius. So
Yeah.
I lied and like totally misrepresented myself right off the bat. So
Dang.
then I had to learn to draw.
I know, well, yeah, especially like if you're tracing angels, they probably came to you in a dream and they're like, that's not how you get ahead.
That's right. I was a sinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, art sense. Now I still trace things all the time. I just like, well, there are things that I make though. So I'll make an image as a study, and then I'll just be like, yeah, whatever. It's faster if I trace it on a projection or something, or if I use like carbon paper.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like I'll take an image and I'll just blow it up, or I'll print it out and I'll just be like, yeah, okay, good. Now I don't have to think about it.
Exactly.
It's on there.
Yeah. And does that also, do you like instant gratification, or are you patient with the process? Is
Oh,
it just tracing it like take away some of the time of prep so that you can get right into it?
yeah, because it's basically like, I'll trace it out, and then it still takes weeks, maybe a month, to just to paint the thing. So
Yeah.
I'm like, why not get why not just get to the part where I have to do all the patient work?
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So can you talk to me a little bit about your imagery and um, like what your work is about? Like what what drives you? Why do you want to make work? What are you
Yeah.
thinking about?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think a lot about like having I have this set of characters, they're called doomerangs.
Yeah, I saw those.
And yeah, so there's like, I mean, there's lots of different scenes that they enact, and there's like a whole cast of different characters. So, people think like, oh, you just paint this one character or something, and it's like, nah, there's years of them.
Right.
Kind of, yeah, like in stacks of books, catalog, there's little comics, just sort of like, I don't know, backstories that help me inform the characters as I make them.
Yeah.
But I think that mostly I started like telling myself these stories because I wanted to get at the place of like having a consciousness about the world and about things that you can't really describe, or like there's all of this sort of there's all this sort of like uncertainty even if you can be certain of things, and there's all this sort of unreality to reality. And I don't know,
Yeah.
I just really gravitated towards making cartoon narratives because of the discrepancies I was seeing in my life.
Hmm.
And yeah, I wanted it to be kind of, I don't know. Yeah, I guess the only way that I could express those feelings is with like something elastic and something like that was always changing, and something that was as dramatic as I felt the world to be.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
And funny.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, how about you? What's the kernel of your truth?
um, let's see. Well, I had therapy this morning and we were talking about this.
Nice.
Um, it's so for me, I'm trans, and so I have always known that the inside me was different from what everyone else was seeing. So making work was my way of existing, really, and um, communicating, describing how it felt to be a human being like me. And then I would read Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine and look at zines and underground zines, Zap. Um, like some of your work makes me think of some of that stuff.
Oh yeah, big into that.
Yeah. Um, so when I was a kid, like there was this one illustrator, Matt for Mad Magazine, Don Martin, and I would copy his drawings as a little kid.
Yeah.
I'm just a phony. I've been copying forever, just copying other artists.
No, it's
And
so real. It's so important to be an artist and to like everybody copies things that they're obsessed with.
yeah,
The only way that you learn.
exactly. And he used to do his chins a certain way. He would do a dot and then like a little shape and then another shape. And then he would have like these like sweat and these little angles coming off and like to kind of to denote movement or dirt or a flurry or emotion. And I would use those symbols too. Um, and so now I kind of, well, what I was talking about this morning is I would always like to do something simpler than I do, cleaner. Um, but then I start making the painting, and then the painting um, kind of becomes what it wants to be. I make a move, and then I react to that. And if I get into the flow, then it's just making itself, right? Do you do that? Um,
I have worked that way, but I find like as I continue working, I'm a little more like, no, I want this. This is how it's gonna be. And there's like little patches where I'll let myself go. Like, I'll be like, it's okay in the background. I'm gonna let it be kind of like washy right here.
yeah, yeah,
But otherwise, I'm like, no, everything is controlled.
right. Yeah. I think there's like when the flow or the zone I'm talking about is perfect. I think there is like a certain amount of control. Um, but then if I start to think, it goes away. Um,
Oh yeah,
like I can be painting and I start thinking about it, and then I know if I keep moving, I'm gonna make a mistake. And I always do if I keep moving. So it's almost like a voice inside of me is like saying, get back into the flow, get back into the zone. Um, it's not that I think my conscious self is stupid, but um, my best ideas sometimes are not so hot. I feel like uh, maybe I am just a dumb painter and it's all magic. But uh, I don't know, but yeah, our paintings are very different. But not well. Actually, um, I do see something similar in our drawings, and
yeah,
and and then in the zines too. So that's interesting. Like, oh, I know why. I'm like, why is that? And I think it's because your drawings are more immediate, right? They're
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's weird. Drawing is so I don't know. It's like you get to find out exactly what someone is thinking about immediately, and yeah, there's just it's like you could even like master's drawings because you just see where every mark lands. And
mm-hmm.
you just like, oh, they put their hand right there. Oh, and then they did this cross hatching thing. And you just see where every gesture was, even if it was a really laborious work. Whereas painting, there's so many layers to it that you hide different mistakes or you hide things you planned before. Like there's no way, especially if you're doing a pen and like an ink work, it's just you're going straight forward. There's no way to hide it. Unless, I mean, if you do, everyone can tell because it's like, damn, this is whiteout about.
Yeah. So you went to, where did you go to school? Remind me.
I went to School of Visual Arts. Yeah,
How- When did
yeah.
you?
I started in the traditional animation department because I
Okay.
thought that I was gonna get an industry job. I was like, yeah, this is gonna make sense. There's lots of jobs. I'm gonna go work for Nickelodeon. Things are just gonna work out. I couldn't, I couldn't handle it. It was driving me insane. I just didn't want to like have a conversation about Pokemon.
Right.
Like, which one was your favorite one? But do you like the new ones?
Mhm.
I was like, I don't want to. I mean, I like Pokemon and everything, but I really want to talk about literature.
Yeah.
It was just my. I was like, I want to talk about. I don't know. I want to talk about something smart, something that feels smart, like like philosophy or something. I don't even know what I want to talk about, but it's not this.
Right.
It was like smoking cigarettes all the time. I was like, I'm in college. I want my money's worth.
Totally.
Yeah. So then I tried to get an illustration into the illustration department because I was like, oh, maybe there'll be something different there. But they wouldn't let me in. They were like, oh, you should go to fine arts. You think you belong there. I thought it was like a really big slight at the time. But now I'm like, oh, they were right.
Yeah. Do you watch? Do you like animation?
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah,
Are you
I still do. Um I'm watching One Piece right now.
One Piece? I'll have to write that down. What is
Yeah,
that?
it's an anime. It is an incredibly popular anime that um is about pirates, and there's a kid who is all rubbery, and he's like, I'm gonna be the pirate king, and he goes on adventures and stuff. You learn lessons about class consciousness.
Okay.
All the bad guys are like fancy lads,
Okay.
and the moral of the story is like, friendship is is the best, and
Um,
you can be friends if you're nice.
Sweet. You mean
Yeah,
me, right?
yeah.
um, have you watched Midnight Gospel?
Oh yeah, that animation is amazing.
I know, I know. And then like just all these weird little moments, like the guy with the bushy mustache, and he's just talking, and all of a sudden he snips off the ends of his mustache.
Yeah,
Like, I
they
just,
just went nuts. They were
yeah,
like, yeah, go animate whatever you want.
right, right,
Like the weird, like when they go through the meat machine
yes,
and they're just like pulverized, but then they're still having a conversation, and they like sploot out and they're just like in a bucket.
right. I know. Me and my partner are like, what is his head in? Are those nut sacks? Is that?
Yeah, right. Everything looks so
What
gross.
is
Everything is everything, man. It's
everything is
psychedelic.
everything. Excellent point.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a winding path. But where did you go to school?
I lived in LA for a long time, and I went to Otis there. And here, I got my MFA at UNM 3 years ago. I finished that. So that's my deal.
What's grad school like?
It is. It was awesome for me. I did it because I was working out of my garage and it was really dark, and I was working in a gallery, and I just wanted like 3 years to just make work, and grad school allowed me to do that. Um, and then I had a great studio at UNM. Um, I also got into UC Riverside, and that would have been great too. That was really hard to decide where to go. But yeah, grad school was great. I became a much better painter. I transitioned there too. Everything happened in grad school, but
Oh, wild.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was great. I met some good friends, um, and now my best friend there is now here at the Sanitary Tortilla Factory, and he's just across the hall. So
Oh,
that's
that's
kind of nice.
awesome.
Yeah, we can talk about paintings and go on a bike ride and all that. It was really great. It's such a weird time right now.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I feel like mostly what I've been doing is trying to make just trying to make a nice space for friends. I'm like, hey, we're gonna be all right,
right.
okay?
Yeah,
We're all right. Nope, we're not going down. We're just fine.
yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, I hear people say we're gonna be okay. Really are like trying to convince themselves.
Yeah, it's like, why do we need to say that? Uh, hey, don't think about it. We're gonna be fine.
Right.
It's fine. We're
Yeah.
fine. This is fine. This is normal. Hey.
Yes. Yeah. Some good things have come of it. I planted a garden.
Oh, lovely.
It's,
Yeah.
it's something.
Is
And
it like a survival garden where when like the food chain or the supply chain breaks down, like you'll have food?
we're totally self-sustainable. No, just
Oh
kidding.
yeah, yeah.
I like to think
Strong.
I like to think that, it supplements us, but I don't know. It's okay. It gives us a little something.
Yeah.
Do you
No, I
have
think it's great.
Are you able to grow herbs there in New York or
I yeah, we have some plants. There's actually a big old tomato plant in our kitchen right now, which is growing super fast and kind of like taking over the space, but it makes me so happy because like the way that all the leaves smell and everything
yeah,
just
totally.
yeah. I have like some little I've got a tiny ponytail palm. I've got some bamboo.
All right.
Yeah, little city plants here and there.
uh, have you ever been to Albuquerque?
No, I think some friends of mine are from there though, and they
Okay.
want to go back. They want to leave the city and go back. What's it like though? Day to day. I just saw Albuquerque in the news because of like the Trump thing,
Oh yeah. That
where he's like, I'm gonna send the troops to Albuquerque now.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, there have been protests and some artists went to the museum to protest Conquistador's statue, and an artist was shot 5 times in the stomach. He lived, but it was serious. That's that's been, I think, the only thing that's happened at protests. Um,
Jeez.
but like we had a really peaceful vigil for Breonna Taylor, and the whole time it was hard to hear people speaking. It was like candles and peaceful, um, but it was hard to hear the speakers for the choppers overhead, which were not needed. So we certainly don't need troopers coming in. It's absurd. I wonder if we shouldn't just fold it up, pack it in, and let them look like idiots marching down an empty street. I don't know. I don't know what
Yeah.
the right way to handle it is.
I mean that sounds good to me, but I'm also like I'm a little like always trying to talk to people about ways to affect change without um you know gathering in large groups because of the pandemic.
Huh?
Well, like, why, like, whoa, guys, hey, maybe we should, if all the cops are not wearing masks
Yeah,
anyway, like, maybe we should just think about ways to disrupt things that have more effect against capital.
that's a really good point because, actually, they haven't been spreader events because everyone's wearing a mask, but the cops aren't. Like you said, that's a good point. I wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah, it takes everybody, and they're going in and out of like hotbeds because all of the jails, there's just like crazy amounts of infections there. They're going in and out of there. Cops are getting it. They're
Yeah,
spreading it all around, and then it's just like, oh well, I'm fine because I'm wearing a mask. But it's like, no, that means you're like, I mean, you're covered, but up to a certain extent. You're not 100. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
just like, I don't know. Are we trying to stop this thing or not?
right.
Or we're just pretending that it doesn't exist anymore. Anyway,
Yeah,
I have an idea.
yeah,
I just think that we should be crowd sourcing a strike fund for people
right.
to stay inside
Yeah, that
and
sounds
to
good.
just stop industry.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. That's where I'm at. I'm like, I'm
Definitely.
just trying to tell everybody, guys, what if we did this?
Right. Um, so, let me think. I was going to ask you a question about art. Well, this is kind of a lame question, but I'm just curious. Do you think you're going to go to grad school?
Well, I tried actually. I applied to a few different grad schools, and it was a bad experience for me.
Yeah.
I was treated poorly in my interview process,
Uh,
and it was sort of very disappointing because it's like you have to pay to apply,
right.
and then you go to a place and then they say rude things to you about your art. They called me a sadist in one of my interviews,
Because,
and then they asked if I was a performance artist who liked fucking with institutions. And I was like, well, I mean, I like, I don't really like institutions. I'm just here because I thought I want to have a job, and I'm not allowed to get any jobs outside of like stuff that I do because I don't have this degree.
right.
So like I'm trying to play ball with you guys. I don't know. I'm not that bad. I'll show up to class on time. And yeah. Yeah. They just kind of dicked me around a bunch, and then I was like, when am I going to keep applying? Like I don't even have money to go. So, what am I going to go into debt so that I can like get these people to just say nasty things to me because I have like too much self-esteem or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt a little bit like that. It felt a little like, who do you think you are? You look like someone who loves themselves. Why don't we just fucking try to like, yeah? And I was like, I'm sorry. Um, I'm making my own school now,
Right. Right.
which is true. I have my own school. It's called Constructing the Real, and so far we meet on Wednesdays.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah. Nobody puts baby in the corner.
That's right. That's right. What
Yeah,
is a sadist comment because of the content of your work? Like,
yeah. Because I have images of like women in shackles with like neck extenders, and because I have like people burning in fires, and like people like at the bottom of lakes and stuff, they just are like, oh, that's bad, you're probably bad. And I'm like, I'm not bad, the world is bad, come on. Also, I have a cat in my lap.
How could you be bad? You have a cat in your lap.
Yeah, yeah. It's just, come on, guys. I'm just a cat owner. That's all.
uh, is that what you said to them, essentially?
No, no. At the time, I just was like, oh,
Yeah, you don't know what to say in the moment.
I tried defending myself. Was like, I don't. I'm not a sadist.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Right.
Like, oh, I don't know.
And what if you were? You
Yeah,
know,
right.
would that
Like,
is that a
stay
problem?
away from my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And then it was like, well, what about the classical implications of that? I mean, I do read Desaad.
Yeah. I mean, it, um, is there some part of your work that's sadistic?
Just the torture.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. They're crazy.
Certainly not.
They just don't like, they don't like S&M culture.
Right. With that.
They're kink shaming me.
Yeah. Well, I would like to support your kink 100%.
Thank you. I support any kinks you have too.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Sure.
In the Discord is the school. And it's pretty cool. We have a channel set up for each text that we go over, and we meet on a weekly basis to go over like what, you know, weekly reading with each other. But we're also starting to branch out and have other meetings where people talk about their work and what they want to share with each other. So this is all pretty new, but it's like if you have just anything that you are deeply steeped in and you want to teach other people about, that's kind of the space to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think like a friend of ours is like making paint by scratch and gonna like teach us something about paint making. Um, Another one of our friends is studying the minimalist artist Les Levine. He's gonna do a talk about that. So it's really like, you know, some of it is theoretical, some of it's historical, some of it is practice based. But we're doing a real skill share.
So, whoops. Yeah. Um, how many students do you have? Students? Is that the right word?
Maybe they're called cohorts, I guess. I
Um,
think, yeah, that's more like equal. I don't know. We have 35.
really?
Yeah.
Wow. So many.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, a lot of them are lurkers, you know. So
Okay, yeah.
it's not like we have a packed out class or anything. We've got like, you know, at any one given time, maybe like 6 or 7 people show up to a class.
Okay.
But then we record them and everybody can check it out.
Okay.
And there's like different groups of people. So
Great. Yeah, I see. 36 members. 2 online.
yay, you're in. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
I was meaning to ask you about like painting influence, because I feel like I see some like Julie Meritou kind of influence in your work.
Hmm. I can
Um,
see that.
yeah, I wasn't sure if that's like a thing or not.
No, but I can see why you would. Not a conscious thing anyway. Um, I like. David Shrigley.
I love David Shrigley.
Yeah, he,
Yeah.
he's maybe my favorite, certainly one of my favorites. Eddie Martinez.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I like Jonathan Mies. He's a German artist. Um, and who else? Oh, Chris Martin.
Okay.
How about you?
Um, I'm like deeply, deeply obsessed with Neo Rauch or Rausch
Yeah.
or Rao or however you like to say it.
Say,
That guy.
I never know if that's right.
Yeah. I mean, I love like the Leipzig school painters um who he studied with, and I really like I when I was younger I was really into Peter Saul, but I've kind of gotten to this point where I'm like, I get it. I don't know. There's like it's all on the surface, and I like the message, it's like American history is a wacky carnage. It's just a big old carnage reel.
Yeah.
Um, and that's, yeah, it always comes through. I always appreciate anybody who's willing to address that kind of stuff. And I really like his career trajectory. But I don't know. I just find myself thinking about more like complex ways of having characters interact and portraying emotions that are not like I'm just trying to be bloody.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you mean with painting?
Yeah, yeah. I just like it when it's like there's still a sort of dreamy chaos in Neo Rauch's work, but then there's also these like poetic gestures that people perform that I can find myself sort of exploring and getting into, and I don't know. I like that. I just the older I get, the more I'm like, yeah, I get it. The world is like bad things are bad, but then what about all this stuff we don't understand? I don't know. I guess I'm getting more interested in the mystery. That is like the most pretentious thing I've said all day.
No, I don't think so.
Getting really into the mystery, man.
I can't believe I haven't mentioned the word magic yet. So,
Hey, magic! Ding, 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 ding.
uh,
Yeah, magic is important. Magic. Do you subscribe to painting as an alchemical process?
yes, I do. Um, and when I don't, I get in trouble.
Oh, oh no, the magic backfires when you stop believing in it.
It does. It
Yeah.
really does. Yeah, and it's like there's there's no division between me and the painting. So, like, if I'm not like I don't know, confidence right now, like in my body, like um, I'm sort of comfortable with myself and uh, expressing myself with the paintings instead of, as opposed to um, planning the paintings and keeping them very on the surface. Making them turn. But but the point was that like when I'm out of the way, then the magic can happen. But I think I said this before, but the minute I start thinking or judging myself, it's like the magic starts retreating or drying up, or I have to take care of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like a little ember.
Yeah. I just, I'm taking care of this bird. Excuse me, I gotta puke into its mouth.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's painting.
Yes. And that's painting. Put him there. That's a great idea.
Oh, that's fun.
Painting.
Yeah. Hey, next up on Art 21, it's this episode it just gets a bunch of artists together who believe that they're feeding baby birds somehow. It's
There's a painter across the hall that paints birds.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh
Sometimes
my god. They're in on you gotta tell them about this episode. They're
this episode,
yeah.
that's implying that there'll be more. There should be more. We
There's
should definitely have more episodes.
yeah. Yo, we're gonna have like an Art 21 where all of the themes it's like artists who think they're feeding baby birds, and then one of them is like everything you can do with a paper towel roll, or like because there's always because the themes are always like these artists work with justice and the concept of the law, or like these artists are really into international concerns.
Yeah.
Like these artists are extremely important and everything they think is huge. And we'll just be like, these artists are really into they like tied their shoes today.
Oh, never mind. That was a stupid joke.
Oh no, it couldn't possibly be stupider than this idea.
It's I put on my spectacles so I can get smarter.
Yeah. Oh,
There we go.
PhD.
Thank you. Yes.
Oh my god. I mean, you look really smart.
I know.
I know. Thank you.
I don't necessarily think that art or painting is such a great social justice tool.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Have you felt like a dip at all in how you feel in the studio since the pandemic, or George Floyd, or
No.
how it affected your feeling in the studio?
Nope.
Good.
I'm super weird though. I'm like I just started making I was like making more stuff almost. Started making things like faster and just kind of being and more like this is what I need to do.
Good.
If I'm gonna like if the world is if it's like it's easier to die now.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well I'm not gonna sit back and like quit what I love because everything's falling apart. So I gotta build my world even faster now.
Right. Yeah.
I have actually a this book is very cool.
Okay.
It is Houdini on magic.
Okay.
And it was very influential when I read it the first time. I read it a couple of times.
I've heard of this book. I'm gonna check it out.
It's so fun because he basically he outlines all of the culture around magic and the ways that people perform and why they perform. And he has this habit of like what he describes in the book of like giving away all of his secrets that other people are doing. So he'll do a routine, you know, he'll be like, oh, I got my handcuffs and I got my ropes on and I'm all tied up and oh no, I'm getting in a chest or whatever. And then he'll see other people start to do that routine. And then he'll be like, Houdini reveals his magic.
I know.
Guys. And then everybody else's copycat routine gets ruined.
Yes.
Yeah, he's so, oh my God, that guy, he got game.
Definitely.
Yeah, and he would always like talk about other magicians and what like charlatans they were and how they weren't like, they were not, there's all these fake magicians and then he's like a real magician, like a real escape artist. I just love that idea that there could be like such a thing as like a real magician, because everything is just illusion anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the escapes are real. It's really complicated.
It's like one of those expressions. There are two kinds of people: those who like magic and those hate magic.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's a hot button topic. It's like, do you think that there are ghosts?
Do I?
Or do you not think that there are ghosts?
I'm not sure. I feel like I've had experiences with ghosts, and I used to believe in ghosts. But then I grew up, and I started doubting myself. So,
oh no,
I'm trying to be open to it, but I'm not sure. How about you? I think so.
I'm pretty sure there are ghosts, but I think that they're different than it's kind of like more like a tulpa, maybe.
What is that?
It's like a collective vision, like people make them real. So they kind of like, they're real, but they're real because everybody knows about them. They like, you like think them into being real. Or like you believe in them and then they appear.
Yes, yeah. I love that idea.
Yeah. I think that's a very powerful side effect of the way that we construct all of our realities.
Right. Exactly. I love that idea. I'm glad it's recorded.
Yeah, so got that tulpa in the bag. I think that we should wrap it up with something that we'll wrap it up.
Okay, you're good at this.
I think it's really good to meet you.
It's really good to meet you too.
Yeah, how's that? It's wild. We're just meeting, and I think it's such a joy to be able to just sit down and talk about art with someone who is on the other side of the country. I just think, thank you.
Thank you, buddy. And I look forward to seeing you in school. See you in school.
Yeah. We'll be just little Zoom faces.
Yeah.